frame the whole time.
Yeah, make sure it's there.
I gotta maneuver everything.
Oh, is that how it works? So wait, I gotta figure out how this stupid live thing works because it's screwing up my live streams when I do. Okay, so there's that. So then I hit that. So why didn't that come up before? Oh, it's because I did it through this. I don't know. I don't understand how this works. I don't understand. I just wish I understood how this shiza worked, but I don't. Whatevs.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatevs. All right. So which order do you want to go in?
Are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay. What did I put? iPhone 12 and all
that one first.
That order.
Dude, okay.
No, I'll lead off with Xbox because that's like so new.
Yeah, so be fun. So good. And then all right, that works. Let's not. It's so funny because last time I almost forgot to hit record. That would have been shenanigans. That last one was fun because we had a lot of people live streaming and everything. That was just a fun one to do, and it's done pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with how quick. It was only 2 days ago. So you're not gonna be around tomorrow? Is that what's going on?
Yeah. Busy person.
Wow. Even. I mean, we're just on fire. That's all there is to it. Okay. So we can hit. Why don't we just? Looks like no one's coming to the live stream. No big deal. It's all right.
No one likes us.
It's fine. I don't barely like us, to be honest, at this point.
Down.
Damn. Barely like us anymore. Let me see if this is actually working. I just want to make sure this link actually works. Because that'd be embarrassing if it didn't. No, it totally works. Totally works. All right, cool. All right, so we can hit record in. You ready? 3. Are you ready or no?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Hit record in 3, 2, 1. Record.
Hello, world, and welcome to another exciting episode of the #1 podcast. You've all been listening to it, GadgetCast. I am Gregory McFadden, joined by my co-host, Travis MCP.
That's right. #1 across everything.
Yeah.
I've done a little bit of research in this, and when I say a little bit, I mean none. And we are #1.
Yeah.
Award winning.
I looked it up one time and I saw like a 1 next to our podcast. That could have been a view. No, it could have been a viewer, but maybe it was. I think it was like the real deal. Like, like, oh, #1 podcast in the world. Definitely an
like
podcast, right? Like,
well, I mean, for sure.
Did you see they gave like podcast awards and they like snubbed us?
Bruh. I mean, I know we've only been around for a little while.
Yeah.
I realize that. But our impact on the tech world has been amazing. If we're really honest about it.
I'm pulling for that Pulitzer Prize. I think we're gonna enter GadgetCast somehow. We're gonna get an award-winning journalism prize. Do you want to comment on the follow-up to the later story? Do you have like anything to say? Like
I mean, just briefly, but yeah, I mean, I liked the video, his 30-minute video. I thought it's the video he should have done originally. I think it's great. He answered all the questions that we had in the first place. I wish he had done that in the beginning, and this would have died a week ago instead of like a week and a half later. And I think he maybe has come up some goodwill, and now people are coming back saying, well, you should make an apology video. No, that's all right. I'm not going to do that. Nothing to apologize for. I laid out facts. I didn't even give an opinion, really. But John did follow up today with a video that I think also was really well done. So I think that wraps it up. Now, I think in the future, he'll be a little bit more thoughtful on releasing devices or products, I should say. And, it is what it is.
Yeah, I wasn't even going to mention it in the show. And then I remembered, like, the show is responsible for why the story exists.
Whoops.
I guess you have to address it. Yeah, I'm the same way. This should have been the first video that came out. He totally dropped the persona. Like, he talked directly to the camera. You could tell it was more authentic. But I gotta say, like, everything or mostly everything we reported on, I'd say maybe the only thing where maybe you could say like we didn't get it 100% right was maybe like the ordering off Alibaba and customizing your order. It's really, we really don't know where he's getting the source from that, and he claimed that it's not on Alibaba. So
I don't even think, did we actually ever say that that's where he got it from? I don't think in my video.
That's reporting where John from page 10.
Yeah, I think John's, but I don't even know that he said that that's what. I think the point is that, like, it doesn't matter. He got it from somewhere where we were pretty. And matter of fact, he actually said something that I said in my video, which I thought was great. The reason that he took the video down was because it would have caused confusion. And the fact that I said that and he said that validates pretty much everything else that I said. So
yes, and that's I'll just drive it to your point, to your video, which again I think was like really fair and everything. Almost every thing that you wanted transparency on in your video, he seemed to address and confirm. So for people, I know there's a sentiment of people going, see, it was nothing after all. You shouldn't have reported on this. And it's kind of like, yeah, but does he make a video telling you all the transparency behind it without our initial videos? I really don't think so. So I think it's good. And those questions were there regardless of whether you put up a video or whether John put up a video. Right. He was already getting accusations that his case was a carbon copy of Pitaka. So I think it's better, if you disagree with the videos, I think it's better that it happened and then he got a chance to clarify himself, because there always would have been that thing like the iPhone video where till this day there's not really clarification on what really happened there. That. So if we did that back then, maybe we'd have a clearer story, rather than right now whenever anyone mentions that, it's kind of hard to look into because you really don't know what to believe there. So
another thing that's changed, which I think to a positive, is he's actually responding to Twitter. If you look even just days before all this happened, he would never respond to people. People would tweet at him stuff and he just wouldn't respond to anything. And I'm not talking about positive, I'm not talking about negative things. I mean, just in general, if you looked at it, he was mainly just promoting his own videos. But over the last week and change, he's actually been engaging and talking and conversing, and he seems to be a much more engaged person. Now, will that stay the case? It's a good question. I would love to see that to be the case. Maybe I'll just ask him straight up on Twitter, say, hey, you've been engaging with the community and stuff. Now that this is over, is it possible that you're going to keep it going this way, or now that this is all kind of settled, you're going to go back in your hole, or what's going to happen here?
Yeah. And
we'll see.
The thing that I hope that everyone takes away from this situation, and I know maybe some harsher words might have been exchanged in the heat of the moment, or, stuff like that had nothing to do really with the story. I just hope people take it away, take a step back and go, okay, people just wanted to know the story. There wasn't this super malicious intent behind it. No one was trying to take Lou down. No one was trying to stop the later case from selling units and stuff like that. It was just what happened looked shady. Did this happen? And from your video, it looks like a lot of the things did happen, but there was a reason behind why these things happened. He didn't want to confuse customers if the case looked similar. So, I mean, that's basically all we have to say, right?
Basically my video was right.
Travis was right. That's all you have to say.
Right. That's, I know I say that a lot in life.
Let's talk about our mistakes, because we're not people. Travis, I might have done something dumb.
What, you bought we know you bought the stand, which is not the most.
I bought the stand. I've been trolling on Twitter. I've been posting things. I put my AirPods on the stand. I put my Apple Pencil on the stand. I put my Apple Watch on the stand. This was a shock to me. I actually recorded a video where this happened live, and I didn't think it was going to attach, and it just attached. I was like, oh. I had an idea for a video for a long time, ever since they announced this stand. I shot it. It'll probably come out tomorrow.
Cool.
I was more excited to make it, but after I made it, I was just kind of sitting there, looking at everything I did, and I was kind of I don't know. I don't think I have the right idea. I think this is a dumb idea. I went through with $1,000 purchase, so I'm going to release it, but I don't have the confidence I had of a few days where I was thinking of making this video, and now I think I'm just gonna release it tomorrow, and I'm just not gonna read the comments. I'm gonna like run away.
I can't wait to see the thumbnail. Real quick, as everyone knows, we are streaming this also live as we record these on YouTube. So if you're interested, youtube.com/GadgetCast. But I want to say hi real quick to the people: Iconics Mods, HFS Artist Haven, and Tech for Your Needs. Good to see you in the chat. Yeah, I mean, I still from the get-go, I didn't know what the heck you were up to, and it sounds like even after I watch it, I won't know.
For the people on the live stream, I have it. It's very heavy. It's so heavy.
Why is it? Why did you say you're going to return it though? Right? You have to at this point. There's nothing to do with that. It's $1,000.
I'm gonna keep it.
No way. You're not going to keep it.
I'm gonna get
not at all.
Maybe I'll get a display to go with it one day.
Not at all. I mean, it's crazy. So funny. I don't understand, Greg. Why would you do this?
I'm gonna delete this video. I can't have this come out.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what people say. I'm going to watch the entire thing.
I'm not going to repeat what Samuel said because our podcast cannot use any sort of cursing in it. But you are correct. Tomorrow's release might negatively affect my channel forever, and I'm a little concerned about it, considering all the goodwill my channel has seen recently. I'm a little worried. I hope people, you know, I hope. I think sarcasm translates very well over the internet. That's what I think.
How long is the video?
I don't know. I didn't finish editing it.
Oh, okay.
How
long do you want it to be?
I don't know.
Like how long does a joke like that go and still be okay to watch?
I did like, I did a lot of jokes on camera, so we'll see what I want to edit in, what I want to edit out, and I mean, no jokes, 100% serious. That video was 100% serious. No way.
All right.
If you're watching that was, I called it, magic, undervalued, honestly, for the utility you get out of it. You don't need the display to go along with it. It is solid, very heavy. It's worth a lot of money, Travis. If someone walks into your house and they see this on the dining room table as a centerpiece, what are they going to say, right? Like, whoa, what is that? Why is that on your table? And I think that's all good things.
I'm trying to imagine the last time I spent $1,000 on something, and I would not have been excited when it came.
I was excited when it came. That's the word.
You're a nerd. You're an absolute nerd. This is the weirdest thing. How could you be excited?
I was excited when it came. I was excited to do the video. I finished the video, and I literally sat on my couch for like a good 30 minutes, like staring down, going, I don't know.
This maybe wasn't a great idea.
So, and I had this idea like the minute they announced the stand. I was like,
oh my gosh,
this would be a good video. This will be it. If they sell the stand separately, I'm gonna do this. And then like once it was all done, I was like, I don't know.
Now the question is, because I've asked you this on other videos before, is it a good or bad thing if it does really, like the video does a lot of views? Is that something you actually don't want a lot of people to see? Or
yeah, it's one of those situations where like I'm like, this is gonna be viral, and now I'm like, oh, maybe I hope like nothing happens with this.
Oh my god. Like what? All right. So
I could even take the joke like one step further, and I'm like debating if I should.
Maybe just double down and just really flush the toilet on that one.
Yeah. Put it.
I mean, go all the way or don't go at all, right? You should just push it all the way
in the toilet.
Well, among other things. I mean,
toilet plunger? Is that a use case for this?
Yeah. Look, Iconic Mod says sarcasm always translate well over the internet. Yeah, true story.
Yeah. I think
good goobly.
I think a Sunday, it's a
victim of that.
It's a holy day, so don't be too mean. Oh man.
Okay.
All right, enough about my struggles in life.
God, dude. Terrible. Just terrible.
I don't even think it's funny anymore. I was like,
I don't know why you did. It's the biggest, like, I don't mind trolling video. Like, I think it's I love trolling videos, but there's just no part of me that can get behind that. Like,
I just thought the initial concept of someone buying the $1,000 stand without the Mac Pro or without the monitor was just funny on its own. and I just really wanted to make the title of my video tomorrow. I bought Apple's $1,000 stand, and that's it.
It's a TikTok. It's a TikTok video at best. Maybe an Instagram story, maybe, but on YouTube, it depends on what you did with it. We'll see. I think if you did things like put it in your passenger side seat and then use it for like carpool lane, like that's funny.
Oh, come on.
That.
Oh, my joke.
But even that is TikTok worthy. Well, I don't know. Maybe you can make it into a YouTube thing. Put a blonde wig on it and take it out for a date. Like
I thought about doing that for the YouTube video, but I just nothing crazy like that even. So you know, I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. I'm getting now I'm just depressed talking about it.
You know, you're making too much money. You're a YouTube rich person when you buy a stand for no good reason.
I just realized this was a giant mistake, and I'm trying to live on the podcast, so it's kind of hard to keep recording this any further.
Oh my god!
Right. So
don't edit that out.
Let's talk about actual news.
Yes.
So, Xbox Series X, right?
Yes.
Is that it? It's like a bad name. Right off the bat, I'm telling you, it's a bad name.
I also don't like the let me talk about the name in a minute because the name actually might not be bad. But I don't really like the look. People are like, oh, it looks like a PC. I'm like, I don't know what kind of PCs you guys have, but I don't look like no PC I have. But it is more PC-like than console-like. And ironically, I was at a friend's house last night, and my friend actually is really good friends with a guy who was on the design team that helped design that. And according to this third-hand story, which sounds reasonable, when they were coming up with a design for this, they specifically wanted it to look unlike a console. Like on purpose, like this needs to be, because there's always been rumors the last couple of years, like, oh, consoles are going to die. They can't do any more consoles. You might as well just go to PC. So then this some way kind of, I guess, puts it out there for that. I don't know. I think it's more probably a necessity of the actual hardware that's inside, because otherwise it's just weird looking.
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't look like a console, that's for sure. I can see why some people would say it looks like a desktop PC because it's vertical, but even then, you're right. It really, other than it being vertical, it doesn't look like that. They say you can lay it horizontal, which I just think would look the weirdest. Like, what is that? It's just like big, like black slabs, like sitting under your like entertainment console. It's hard to get a perspective of like how this like looks even because like it looks like massive, just how they're showing it. But I've seen like other people try and like depict a scale of it, like next to like other items. And then you're like, okay, maybe it doesn't look like so big, but like the press images, like it just makes it look gigantic to me.
It does.
Yeah.
And to me, that's the thing. Like, where does this thing fit? Like, because I have now, first of all, I have an Xbox One X. I used to have a PlayStation 4 as well. I don't have the PlayStation 1. I don't really get a chance to play as many games as I would like to. So I'm down to one console. I don't have any intention of upgrading next year, even though I'm kind of an Xbox fan. But so I remember watching a video of someone saying that there's been rumors of like different specs of this, and why they're calling it the Series X is that there might be different versions of this, like different hardware loadouts of this. Like Series X. Now, that makes sense. But if it's literally just one kind of SKU, then it doesn't make any sense. Like Series X. What does that mean?
I think that's a mistake if that is the intention, though, because I see people in the console market more as like very, very average consumers. And the minute you start like breaking, like depending on how many like series there actually are, like obviously now like we have like this weird console generation where you kind of have like the two-tiered system where you have, you know, the powerful Xbox and then the weaker one. Same with the PlayStation 4. You have the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro. So that's kind of easy to understand, more power and all. But if they're doing like different series, like I think I saw like a concept, like something you were talking about, where it's like, oh, this one's just to stream the game. This one's just to, you know, have like normal performance. And then this is like top of the line performance kind of thing. And I don't know. I feel like that is kind of like, it's interesting because before this announcement and before the PlayStation 5, like that's basically confirmed now. There's this talk of like, yeah, consoles are going to die and they're not really going to be a thing anymore. A lot of people are thinking this is going to be the last generation of consoles. But at the same time,
I said that last time too, by the way.
They kind of always say that, and then console gaming is like bigger than PC gaming. So it's kind of weird. I don't know. I just think of like the average, like I think of like the mom going into like buy like, because like obviously like video game consoles, like a big market's kids, and then so a lot of like parents like buy this for like their kids. I just think of like a parent like going in and being like, do I want the Xbox Series X, or do I want the Xbox Series S, or do I want the Xbox Series B? And it's kind of like, I'm not sure if it's like a winning strategy in the console market, which has usually like valued simplicity.
Yes. Hey everyone in the chat, Lilo, good to see you. I mean, I from a console standpoint, I kind of agree with you. There was the regular PS4 and the Pro, like that kind of makes sense. And the X and the what. I remember reading someone say the other day on Twitter, and this actually is totally true. Like the naming conventions on the Microsoft side of things are pretty terrible versus the PlayStation, which is incredibly linear. Right. PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, 3, 4, and now 5. And then we got Xbox 360, which means you jump 359 versions. Then Xbox One, we went right back, rewinded. Then Xbox One X, and now Xbox One Series. Like, it's too much. Like, hello, we don't need all that.
Yeah, the Xbox naming scheme has definitely been weird. Xbox One is a worse name actually, I think, than Xbox Series. That was very confusing, and that was like a horrible launch too. They like botched that at every corner. So at least
they botched it left, right, and center.
Yeah, at least they have like a better way to like come through this. But yeah, like they're saying like you're getting like 12 teraflops like performance on this, which sounds like crazy to me. It's like I think like the last console,
like 4 or something, 8.
No, I think like I think like the Pro versions got like more, but I want to say like the Xbox like launched with like 1.4 teraflops.
Yeah, something like that.
And I'm just like thinking like, whoa. And some of the trailers they were showing off at the Game Awards show, and they were like, oh, this is for Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, and like I was looking at those graphics. I'm like, whoa, that looks good.
I didn't even see them because a lot of times when they do that, and this is what I hate about a lot of these things, because if you look back at the same thing for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 original trailers, and the games end up not looking like that. And I hate that. So I don't even try to get excited about that stuff. Having said that, there's some amazing looking games right now. So yeah. You know,
there's a lot of shenanigans in the console market where it's like, oh, that's footage, and then you like find out it's like, no, it was like pre-rendered, and and the version that came out was weaker than the test versions they had, and it's gonna be interesting though. And the console race is heating up. PlayStation 5 is like confirmed. They haven't shown off the design of it yet, but they basically it's a weird console generation where like they confirm like that they're working on a next generation without showing it off, and that was the same for PlayStation and for Microsoft. And it's usually weird because they usually like hype it up, and they usually have like these like big reveals of like, here it is, like an Apple event. Like they don't want to give you any information. This year you're seeing like so much transparency from like all the companies, and it's like okay, and it kind of like killed the hype for me. Like I don't know, like I like the press events, but I guess like that's me because I like to like talk about it. But it's like weird to like just have like it announced at like a Game Awards show, and it's like, what? There's no event for it. You're just gonna announce it like that. Like I'm like trying to think of like the iPhones like popping up at like an award show. It's like wait what?
I know it's crazy that I don't know. I think people need to pay attention to how things are being marketed and see what works best, and kind of get away from the okey doke. Like, if it works, it works.
Changing, we're getting like a lot of low key stuff lately.
So, real quick, I want to talk about our sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, NordVPN. With super fast servers over 60 countries, they're proudly sponsoring. I hope they're proudly sponsoring the GadgetCast. They don't log your data. We are going to assume they do. You can unlock Netflix from your favorite entertainment sites, 30-day money-back guarantee, protect your data while traveling, up to 6 simultaneously connections, works even in China. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we can get it to you for a great deal. If you go to nordvpn.com/GadgetCast using the GadgetCast code, you will get it for $3.49 a month. That is a great deal because that's a great price. Ladies and gentlemen, for the price of half of a cup of coffee, you can have your security for $3.49. nordvpn.com/GadgetCast with the promo code GadgetCast. And back to the show.
All right. So speaking of announcements, iPhone 12. We already have rumors about the iPhone 12. Like, what's going on?
Well, but I mean, it's getting closer and closer to the point where, and this has already happened a couple times, where before a phone's even released, there's like rumors of the next. I think the OnePlus 8 had rumors before the OnePlus 7T was announced.
Yeah. It's almost like you get the phone out and it's like the next day. It's like, all right, what's next? I'm bored of this. But yeah.
Yeah. But listen, until they remove the notch, I mean, I'm pretty good with this phone. And now if they remove the notch, I might gotta go.
You say that. It might be gone. I've seen a couple like concepts. I don't know how true they are of the notch being removed, saying they might move the sensors up. I've seen other concepts just saying they're gonna make the notch smaller. I don't know, like how that.
Well, I'll be honest. At this point, never say never. Yeah. Like I did not know I was going to end this year on an iPhone with an Apple Watch.
Yeah,
I would not have put money on that. So I mean, listen, anything's possible. Glitchy says it's always that way. As soon as the iPhone 12 comes out, 3 days later, iPhone 13 rumors will. Yeah, of course. And we should have skipped the 12. Yeah, I mean that is the way it is.
Yeah. So from what I see, I made a video on this actually. If you want to watch it, way more detail probably. But the iPhone 12 is going to be a redesign. So Apple's kind of like on this like 3-year design cycle. Will they use the same design? And the 12 is going to be a new design. Current rumors are saying that it's going to have like flatter edges, which would be reminiscent of iPhone 4. Most recently, they kind of implemented that design on the recent iPads. A lot of people seem to like that. And that's kind of when talk about this come up. I don't know if that's wishful thinking, but I think it's a pretty good indicator that the iPads went that way. So maybe they'll do it for a future iPhone. And a lot of the phones currently are looking very similar. They kind of all have like this, curved edge design, rounded corners kind of thing. So by Apple doing like that squared off design, I think that would be unique right now. I'm trying to think of like every phone released, and they kind of all have like that same design on the edge. So that would be a good like design standpoint from them. Obviously, that probably wouldn't last too long. I'm sure you'll have like clones coming out within like months of that new design, but they have to do like something different, right? To like hype people up. New designs sell better than older designs. This is also like I said before, this might also get rid of the notch. It might also remove it. But what's really interesting about these phones is Apple's strategy now. So now it looks like for the normal iPhone 12, we're going to have two sizes, 5.4 and 6.1. Yeah, 6.1. And then on the Pro models, it's going to keep the two sizes as well, but they're going to change the 5.8 size to 6.1. So bigger display for the initial one. And then 6.7. So that's getting up there. I believe the Note 10 is what, 6.8?
Yeah, it's around there. It's funny how close to 7 inches we are, which is, tablet territory. It's very interesting.
Yeah. So the Pro models sound like less interesting to me because it's like, all right, like you can see like 6.1, 6.7. I'm guessing it's just gonna be like a bezel reduction, probably like the same footprint, maybe like a slightly bit bigger. The interesting to me is the 5.4 inch size. Which
I mean, I'm over small phones, but I understand that I was talking to my pastor last week, and he loves the design of the 5 and the SC. So he's hoping to see the SC2, be around that size. He said it's the perfect size. But I think he also means like of the phone, not necessarily of the screen, because 4.7 screen, if you look at that now, it's kind of like, but some people like that overall size.
Yeah. A lot of people like that size, and like you said, they like the size, but I'm sure like if you could give them like a similar size and then put a bigger screen on it, who's going to say no to that? But they like how like easy it fits in their pocket. I was like using like an iPhone SE at one point in between the iPhone 6S and the iPhone 7. And it was nice to go back to that smaller size after coming to a Plus phone. Like it just slips in your pocket like so easy. Like when you have like these big phones, it's like like you like feel it like as you like walk around all day. But like the small phones, it's almost like nothing's there. So I would be interested to try and like go back to the smaller display size. I was almost going to get the smaller sized iPhone this year, but after like I heard like the battery life on like the Max model, I'm like, all right, I need that.
Yeah,
I drained my battery like crazy. So that's probably like a thing. Like I'm guessing like the smaller size, it's not going to get like the crazy good battery life. But it's interesting to see Apple like expanding their iPhone lineup, right? They're the company that was traditionally the one iPhone for everyone. Then we've seen them expand with the Plus model. Now they have two separate models. So they have like the normal, then the Pro. And now they're going to have two sizes of the normal and two sizes of the Pro. And if anything, the iPhone 11 and the 10R before it, they were the best selling iPhones. So it makes more sense to have more diversity in that lineup than the Pro lineup.
And then Alan says he thinks the notch will stay there because, Alex, because Face ID isn't quite there. And Glitchy says she likes smaller phones all the way up until you watch video, of which there's a lot of consumption of video on phones. And, I think every person's different. Obviously, there's different needs and different hand sizes and things that you're, comfortable with. Personally, I just have to have larger screen phones. I think we've normalized larger screen phones, so it'll be interesting to see like what is the tolerance downward. Like what is the lowest end that people will still accept? I feel it's like maybe 5.5, but not much lower than that. Because that's the plus size of the original like iPhone Pluses. So of course those phones were just big because the bezels and everything were so big. Like you had Notes that had more screen size that were smaller phones. So if you minus all that around and you kind of bring it all nice and tight to the screen, it's actually not a bad size phone. But I don't know if the tolerance is much smaller than even 5.8 seems like to me minimal. I could be wrong though.
I mean, it's a lot of like personal preference. I know people who think the 5.8 is too big. They want something smaller. So
I didn't know. So when I went to get my Pro, I went in the store. I had never seen the regular iPhone Pro until I went into the Apple store, and I picked it up. I realized it was going to be smaller than the 11. I had no idea. So I was so shocked I had to immediately put it down. I'm like, nope, that's not happening today.
Yeah. It'll be interesting for sure to see like a return to a smaller phone because the trend, like you said, it's been bigger phones, bigger phones, bigger phones. So it'll be interesting to see how well it sells. Like, are we beyond the point where like the mass market really cares about small phones? It's an additional SKU. So who can really fault it? Like if it's just an option out there, it's like, okay, well, it's an option out there. I'm sure it'll be the cheapest iPhone available. So that'll probably help it boost sales all on its own. But yeah, it's like weird though. Like I can go from like a bigger size phone to like a smaller size phone. It bothers me at first, and then like I just get used to it. But then at the same time, like if I go to pick up that bigger phone and then like type on it again, it's like, oh, this is so nice. And it's kind of like you kind of like there's pros and cons to both of it. And the longer you use it, the more you forget about the benefits of having like a larger display. But like the second you go to pick it up again, it feels massive and you're like, oh wow, like this, oh yeah. And then it's funny like how like you'll use that like big display phone for like a long time. And then like you look at the display and it doesn't even seem like that big to you. It's like, oh, okay, display.
Yeah, 100%. Because when the 5S or what were they called? The S, I don't know, the S series. No, not the S series. What were the big ones called? Plus. That that was huge at the time, and like now we look back at it and go, wow, the phone itself is big. The screen wasn't that big. So yeah, there's probably. I think the reality is this, like there's people in chat talking about there's different use cases for different people. The question is, what is the biggest use case size-wise for a phone? Does it mean that they will sell a lot more of the smaller size phones? Or is the reason, for example, that the 11 and 10 and 10R sell so well is not because of the size, but because of the price? Would people buy a really well-priced 6.5-inch phone? Like that's the one thing I'm really kind of curious about. If we know that, inexpensive sells, but is there then a tolerance to size and inexpensive? Because the people that are not spending as much money on their phone may not want a larger phone at the same time. So it'd be really interesting. And if this SE2 comes to fruition, maybe we'll see that answer.
Well, the SE2 is going to be interesting too, because that's even going to be smaller, 4.7, but that's going to be like way down in price. It's going to be like a $400 phone. And with like a lot of like the same like modern features of the iPhone 11. So even right there, that'll be like a very budget friendly model. So that has potential to be like a big seller. And I heard another talking point about that a lot of like older people are afraid to move to the new design without the button.
Sure.
So that in itself could be like a big upgrade cycle for people who don't, who are fine with the older design. Maybe they don't want Face ID, they want like the Touch ID and stuff like that. So I'm really curious to see the SE. That's rumored to be coming out in the first half of 2019. I'm sure I'll be covering it. So
yeah, and quite frankly, my opinion, the SE2 should not come with the A13. I think personally, because of that size and the people that will need it, they don't need that much processing power. Give them an A12 or an A11 and cut the price even more.
Well, because Apple makes its own chips, I'm not sure like how much like an A13 would be to like manufacture, like especially at this point when they're making so many of them. Maybe it's cheaper just to make the A13 than to like
maybe if that's the case, okay, fair.
Fair.
But I'm guessing they have a bunch of like A12s and A11 because they're still putting A10s in iPads.
That's true. Yeah, I'm curious terrible. To see, because when the SE, the first one was launched, it came with the same processor as like the highest end iPhone at the time. Maybe they want to, differentiate that lineup a little more to push people towards 11. I don't know. It's like it's a way different time. So I'm interested to see what strategy they pursue. I honestly don't know because the latest iPad Air and iPad Mini have A12s in them, but that came out before the 11. So
yeah,
maybe they would have just gave those A13s if those were launching now. You can also make the standpoint from Apple that they don't want to spend any more time updating these phones, and they can put out an iPhone SE2 with an A13 and sell it for 3 years and never have to update it. Yeah. Whereas if they put like an A11 or an A12 or even go back to the A10, then that's a phone that's going to lose support much quicker. And then that's something that they're going to have to take off the website and not have to like sell. So maybe that gives them even more flexibility, kind of like future proof it and not have to worry about it.
So then my call to action will be, as we're closing up here, anyone who's listening to this, especially during the audio podcast, of course, we appreciate everyone's watching us on YouTube. Send us a message, send us an email, and or leave us a voicemail in the show notes below and in the video notes. If you're on YouTube, you'll see a link to leave us a voicemail. Leave us a voicemail about this. What do you think about the upcoming iPhones this coming up year? Let us know, and we will talk about those on the next episode of GadgetCast. We'd love to hear from you. We love the feedback.
Yeah, let us know, especially another point before we end, that these iPhones might have 5G in them. I think that's pretty much like confirmed at this point. Like Apple wanted to work with Qualcomm after like that horrible, like they thought like they could make their own chips with Intel and it kind of didn't work out too well. So now they're kind of back with Qualcomm for a little bit, but these will be like the first 5G iPhones. And besides like Apple, like, like obviously like it'll probably be a big seller just because like, oh, 5G, whatever. It's like a good marketing talk. But I saw an article today saying it might backfire in a way if the networks aren't ready to support it. And it's true because I have AT&T personally, and I look at like their roadmap to bring 5G to like my area, and like it's not looking good.
So this happened once before. I can't remember if it was 4G or 3G or whatever, where and I reported this in a video a while back. I can't even remember which video it was, where when the phones went on sale, I think it was the 3GS or something like that. They couldn't get the connection and they were upset at Apple. Of course, Apple had nothing to do with it. So, that could happen where people are like, well, I want this 5G and they're not getting what, they're paying for. So,
yeah. And, there's already 5G phones out in the market, obviously. But again, like the number of units that Apple sells with an iPhone, that's going to be the real test where you're going to get a lot of people hitting that network all at once. Yeah. And if it's not stable, they're not complaining to Verizon, they're not complaining to AT&T, they're going to Apple and going, hey, your phone stinks. And it's like, no, we didn't do it.
It's terrible.
We're not.
All right. Well, that wraps up another exciting edition of the GadgetCast. We always appreciate the support you guys have given us. We have all types of content coming up, and the end of the year is coming. So we will do like an end of the year wrap up. I mean, we were only here for like 2 months of the year, but that's all right.
Best GadgetCast episode of 2019. The GadgetCast 2019 award.
Yeah, we should do that actually next week. So leave us messages on what phone should get the phone of the year and stuff like that. We'll definitely definitely read those messages on next week's GadgetCast. So as always, in the description of the YouTube channel and of course the show notes are all of our social medias. Make sure to check us out. And say hi to Greg and his $1,000 Apple iPod Pro stand. It's also an iWatch stand, and it's every stand except for a Mac Pro stand, basically.
Don't watch that video.
Everyone, thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next week. Okay, I hit stop on the record. The after show.
This is my cross to bear now, you know.
Oh, that's
really
terrible. It should be, and it's terrible. You're gonna spend all the money. It better be heavy. And the antenna gate.
Right.
Yeah, you're holding it wrong. Yeah, 10 years ago, the iPhone 4 started the decade. That's just so that whole front part is magnetic.
Yeah, it's actually pretty. It's cool. I can see.
You just sit there and like put things on it because it's magnetic.
Yeah, I was like, the stand attaches magnetically. Can I use like other magnetic things on it? The saddest part is I tried to put my iPad on it and it didn't work. It's like, it would have been kind of cool.
It didn't stick.
No, it didn't stick. And like the Pros are supposed to have like tons of magnets in them, so I was confused. It's like, what?
Samuel says he's going to join the notification squad for tomorrow's juicy video. Please. Holy crap on a stick.
Me, not watch tomorrow's video.
Bruh, I'm totally going to watch it.
I think like it's going to be like bad. Like I don't even think it's going to be funny anymore. I'm just like, I have to.
It was just a mistake.
Like I committed too far. Like I got the stand. Like I have to put it out. So it's horrible.
That's so funny. Looking forward to it.
Maybe I can make it funny in the edit.
I mean, that's what you're gonna have to look for. Sound effects. Look for corny stuff. Just go all the way left on this one.
I should do like infomercial music.
Yeah. Or what's that? Slap the stick. What is that? The thing where you take the tape and it keeps the water from coming out or whatever.
Flex.
Yeah. Flex tape. Even flex tape. I can't wait to see it. I know it's going to be terrible.
It's going to be so bad.
Shout out to everyone watching. We appreciate you. And we'll be doing, I don't know, when are we doing our Wednesday show or Thursday show or whatever? What's going on, Montreal?
Probably Wednesday.
We're going to record it on Wednesday. Probably a good idea. Still no news on CES though, right?
No. I mean, I just got the registration complete, so
that's exciting, by the way.
If anything happens,
yeah.
Gonna need some funds if anyone's out there watching.
Exactly. So when does this one goes live on Monday, right? The one we just recorded.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, let me send you the file. Everyone in live stream. Yeah, so y'all got to hear it a whole day in advance, whole day and a half in advance. So appreciate you for showing up. But it'll be on all the podcast stuff on Monday morning in case you want to hear it again. And in much better audio quality, if you can believe that. Like crazy audio quality.
I have 19 Twitter notifications. I'm kind of scared to go through them.
I only have one. So I'm good. All right, y'all. We will see you again real soon. Thanks for joining us. Peace and love. Ending the stream.